Legos. They span time. They span generations. They span age groups. We have everything from jumbo Legos for teeny fingers to tiny Legos and complex layouts for older fingers. And by older fingers, I do mean my age. However, not everything Lego has to be a Lego, right? So today, as part of the Quarantine Lego Party collab, I'm going to be showing you how to turn your old, broken, used crayons into a fun Lego crayon. Are you ready? Let's get started. So for this project, you're going to need old crayons. I have a bag of them that I picked up specifically at our local thrift store just for this project. But this is a great project to do with those crayons that are left over, like from school, or when your kids are cleaning up their rooms and they're finding crayons, have them put them in a Ziploc bag or in some sort of like little ice cream tub to complete this project later on. Then, if you're making them into Lego shapes like we are, you will need silicone Lego molds. I got these from Amazon and I will link in the description to these particular ones. As you can see, I've made these before because they're covered in crayon wax. They're pretty decent thickness. They do come 4 in a pack. There comes a green one and a red one, yellow one, and a blue one. They're all the same style of Lego. They are all the same thickness. So, what to do next? What you're going to do is you're going to strip your crayons. And what does this mean? What do you mean? What do I mean by stripping a crayon, you ask? Literally, you're going to take an X-Acto knife or a cutting knife or a pair of scissors, and you're going to slice the paper off of the crayon. This is something that can injure you and can cut you. So I really recommend parents, if you're doing this with kids, that you do this particular part. So as you can tell, I kind of went off myself, but I have cut the paper so that I'm not having to peel so much with my fingernails and not get a ton of crayon wax under my fingernails. After a while, that does start to hurt, actually, because I've made these quite a bit. I made other designs for Relay for Life for one of our fundraisers. So here you go. Simply, you have a crayon. So we are going to fill this bowl. I'm just using a paper bowl. As you can tell, I've got 2 in there. I've got a silver one and I've got a pink one. It's a pretty deep bowl. So we're going to strip crayons until the bowl's full, and then we'll go on to the next step. So, we have finished peeling our crayons, and I have filled my bowl. I'll hold on to them so you can see I filled the bowl. So, the next thing I'm going to do is cut them into small pieces. Now, while I am doing that, I'm going to go and preheat my oven to 275. It doesn't need to be hot, but it needs to be warm. And I have found that 275 is pretty much the perfect in-between level of temperature, that it won't scorch the crayons, but it will still melt them. Now, here's a tip that I have for you. If you have an old pie pan or a cookie sheet that you can lay your molds on top of, it'll make them much easier to get in and out of the oven. So, let's get filling up our little molds. Okay, I'm working on cutting apart my crayons. I just wanted to show you a little bit of what they look like. Imperfect. They don't have to be perfect because they're going to melt. So I'm just kind of breaking them up. I'm using the points of my scissors and just kind of sticking them down, like kind of putting pressure on the crayon and letting them break how they choose. Just because I know that they're not going to have to be, you know, perfect cut. You can see here's half of the other one, and that's going to go in a container. This one's kind of the only perfect one. I think it was on the end. And that's going to go in another spot. This one has pieces broken. And I've got all the broken pieces. And I'm just going to dump them in another slot. Okay, this is going to take a little bit to cut these all apart to get enough to fill these. And just a little side tip note. The crayon, the molds need to be overflowing. And that's why I really recommend using a cookie sheet to do this. Because when you move it, you don't want your pieces all falling down. Also, you don't have to cut these apart. Breaking them works just the same type of purpose, and you don't have to worry about injuring yourself or little fingers. The ones that are harder to break are these fatter crayons. So if these may be the ones that you might find like a box cutter for, or just plan to break them into 3 bigger pieces and make that, that's going to potentially fill, depending on the size of your mold, it's going to more fill your mold piece. Okay, so here is what it looks like at this point. As you can see, I've kind of mounded crayons in spots. I've got some empty spots that I need to finish filling in. I just need to grab a couple crayons and kind of fill in where I feel that there's empty spaces. Make sure that everything looks the way I want it to before I put it on my tray and get my oven just clicked that it's preheated to 275. So we're going to put these in the oven for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. No more, no less. 10 minutes. Okay, so let's get this on a tray in the oven, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, so here it is. It's out of the oven. It's been 10 minutes. I know it doesn't look like much, and quite frankly, I know it looks like a mess. But it's going to be awesome when it cools. Now, because these do have little knobs on them, because they are Legos, they are prone to break if they do not cool completely. So, you heard Sam in the background agreeing on that. So, we're going to let these cool for a full 24 hours. So, tomorrow, we will come back, we will pop them out, and show you what they look like. Okay, so it's the next day, and here is our crayon mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to just pull the silicone away from the crayon. This is the best way that I have found to keep the Lego dots intact. I'm simply going to just continue to pull on the silicone. And then I'm going to, holding onto the dots, I'm going to turn it to where it releases like this. So all that is holding this into the silicone at this point is the dots. And this is the part that is very tricky. I'm going to listen to a really loud car go by. I'm going to simply, and I say simply as if this is easy, just kind of hold the back dots behind and pull. And there it is. Whoop, there it is. Here is my Lego crayon. Now the next thing you're probably going is, Lena, that doesn't work. Well, being a crafter, I've got all kinds of paper. So, I've got my notebook here. Just going to open it to a page. See, there's nothing on it. take my crayon. Ta-da! There's one over here with the little lighter color and one over here with the blue. Ta-da! It works! Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will use this same technique to save the crayons in your life. No, you do not have to go out and purchase a Lego mold to make these. You can use anything that you'd like as a mold. A mold just makes them more fun. You can always use just a old cupcake tin that is in bad shape. Maybe you find one at a thrift store that you use specifically for crafting. Makes good thick crayons, especially for little fingers. If you are interested in making Lego themed crayons, I will link both the one I used, which is not currently available as of this video, but another one that is available in the description down below. Don't forget to check out all of the other channels who are participating, link below, and we'll see you later. Bye!